Well, hello everyone. We're on week 5 and this is our last week to pull it all together. So I am grateful you are all here. Lots of cool stuff going on in your organizations. I am very proud of you. And for those of you just starting, remember our goal is to help you enroll your first 5 people. But as my friend always said, God doesn't move parked cars. You got to put your car into drive and make it go. So we have to put those things into action to start with enrolling our first 5 people, and then we want to make sure that you follow up with your first 5 people. Quick review, remember how brilliant Young Living is. They give us 25% commission on enrolling someone with the starter kits, and that gives them a lifestyle piece of the puzzle to start with. And then they give us a $25, I call it a flat fee, a flat commission, which is your starter kit bonus. And that bonus is what you invest back into your person. It's brilliant, right? So that way we don't have to spend any more. They gave us that $25 to invest back into that person with good follow-up. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and hopefully there's a week 4, but sometimes we can do it in 3 weeks. And we do that with tools, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago. Tonight was a wild card because each group is a little bit different, but I think I want to end with the idea of promotion, because we have to promote our business model, we have to promote ourselves, and we have to promote the very things that Young Living offers to us so that we don't keep reinventing the wheel. So I want to start off with a quote that I had read, and it says, "The difference between mediocrity and excellence is often a matter of effort." So I hope to encourage you, let's put forth some amazing effort in February and get a momentum rolling into the spring for your businesses. As you all know, our responsibility is to give value to our members. So here's the deal, and I hope you wrote this down because we said this before, but maybe write it down again. Cost is only a concern in the absence of value. Cost is only a concern in the absence of value. And if you can remember that, that is going to drive you to do excellent new customer orientation. And it may also drive you to do some of the campaigns that we tend to do quarterly. When we have larger organizations, we may end up doing a campaign monthly, but it's 1 month it might be ER people. The next month it might be unilevel. The following month it may be our personally enrolled. The next month it may be leaders. But that's dependent. And just so you all remember, campaigns are not a one-shot pony. It's where you do multiple weeks in a row to move a specific statistic that you're moving on. So for example, if I wanted to move my Essential Rewards statistic, let's say I have 10 people enrolled in my organization and I have 4 of them on Essential Rewards. I want to do 3 to 4 weeks of communication to see if I can move that statistic up to 70% of my personally enrolled people. That's an example of a campaign We're doing a specific audience with a specific number. Where when we talk of follow-up, that's typically our new customer orientation, which is right after they enroll, because we want to give them value, because we, as we just said, cost is only a concern in the absence of value. So tonight we want to look at promotion, and we're promoting a multitude of things here. So let's start at the beginning. What does promotion mean? Because so many new people begin their businesses and they think promotion means announcing it. So if I put, oh, there's a sale that Young Living is having, and I put that on my Facebook page, that's only an announcement. And people are passive and it's not going to work. So promotion means we want 5 touches to that person, 5 to 7 touches to that person. So that's a good thing to write down. Promotion means 5 to 7 touches. Because people are passive. They need to hear things over and over again and in different ways. And what does promotion mean? It means making the thing, whatever that thing is, a sale, an event, the business we're in, whatever that thing is, making that thing a priority. So promotion is making that thing a priority and being relentless in your message. And we're going to give you some examples pretty quick. So promotion means a couple of things. So maybe write this down too. So number 1, we want to pique someone's interest. Or maybe we want to create an urgency. Or number 3, maybe we want to make a connection so they go, oh yeah, me too. Or number 4, maybe we want to paint a picture so they can see themselves, how it will benefit them or how it'll make a difference in their family. So number 4 is paint a picture. And number 5 is maybe we can stir imagination. Now that comes later, but I always say these words. So number 5 is stir imagination. So I say something like, can you imagine if? So can you imagine if we went around our lake and told every person what may be causing disruption in our lake? Can you imagine if we contacted every household in our neighborhood and taught them the 3 steps to a healing home? Can you imagine the impact if we help 50 people in our community grow a strong business, how that would affect our economic income level of this small community? Can you imagine? Those are the things you want to say when you stir imagination. I also use the phrase, wouldn't it be amazing if? So wouldn't it be amazing if you could give unlimited amount to, well, not unlimited, but if you could give a large amount to the missions of your church? Wouldn't it be amazing if you could pay for somebody's medical bills? Wouldn't it be amazing if you could sponsor not just 1 child, but 15 children? Wouldn't it be amazing if? So those are how you stir imagination. And I think a few weeks ago, we talked about casting a vision. And that's where we talked about the income disclosure sheet. So if you remember this, whenever you talk business, you want to have this income disclosure sheet or have a link to that. But when we cast a vision for this business, we want to connect it for someone. That's number 3. We want to paint a picture for them. We want to pique their interest, and maybe we want to stir imagination. But do you see how that fits in with the promoting our business model now, which is the first thing we're going to talk about, is how do we talk about this business model with others using our 5 things that we want to do for promotion. So how do we cast this vision for the Young Living business as we're talking to our product users? Because remember, even though we're leading with the product and we're sharing with people the product, we want to right away be talking about our business, the message of our business, and how urgent that message is, and why you are passionate about sharing that message. And so we cast that vision, first of all, number 1, how do we cast a vision? Number 1, we use logic. So this is where the income disclosure comes in. We logically want to share. Do you see those numbers? So for example, right here, the average income. I'm going to read that to you. But when we talk about the average silver, $26,000 a year, that can be a car, that can be a college fund, that could be paying down debt. Anything that's logical to that person. I think you might remember me saying that when I was a teacher, I could only visualize logically. I could only see this business going as far as my teacher salary allowed me to go. I could only visualize $50,000 a year at the beginning because that's what was real to me. That's what was logical to me. And once I made those steps closer and closer to replacing my income, then all of a sudden that vision was possible, but I wasn't quite there yet. And I'm going to share with you one of the secrets of promotion tonight, and the very thing that totally changed and transformed my business life. But we'll do that later. But right at the beginning, I could only visualize logically. So when you go in to talk to people about the business, you're not going to go in there and say, hey, let's get together. We're going to make $1 million. No, you want to share. Let's look at silver. What is that logically to that person? How does it connect? Now, that doesn't mean, though, you can't share gold. Gold makes $72,000. Logically, what statistic did we give you? Remember the statistic? The average franchise owner makes $78,000 a year. So logically, gold will connect with the average franchise owner because we all are familiar with franchises. And many people want to own a franchise, but they don't have the capital to put in $750,000 to buy a franchise. Network marketing allows us into an income equal to a franchise and even moves us beyond that with a low cost of $160 for a starter kit. That's amazing. But that's logical. I can relate to that. Now, as you go along here, though, as you go through the average income, the average platinum is $183,000 a year. That's a corporate salary. That's a surgeon's salary. That's a school district salary, superintendent's salary. That's a corporate executive salary. There are people in Young Living at the platinum level that are making this corporate salary. Can you connect to that? I think we can still connect, right? And then as you move on down this page, again, we're still connecting logically, Diamond, $474,000 a year average. This is where we begin to look at where we can go, but don't focus on that. Focus on your silver, gold, platinum, but have that diamond, crown diamond out there that you know people, you guys know people who are making those average salaries in Young Living. But start at the silver, gold, and platinum level because those are very connectable when you, in your first conversation. The second way we cast a vision for the value of this business is emotions. So I may say, what would that mean to you? How would that make you feel if you made the equivalent of a franchise owner? How would you feel as an executive sponsoring one child and knowing that when you reach silver, you'll be able to sponsor 3 children as your income increases? And what if you became gold? Now you could sponsor 6 children. Or how would it feel as an executive to make an average of $6,000 and pay down the school debt? And what if you then became silver and you were able to pay $26,000 down in your school debt? Oh my gosh, the average person gets to gold. That's $72,000 a year. Can you imagine the amount of pressure that's taken off of you if you pay down your school debt with that? Now, I use school debt because you're going to have a lot of young professionals you talk to who are professionals, but they have a lot of school debt. I use the example of, you can use the example of paying down a house mortgage if you're talking to a young mom. Or you might see an exhausted young mom who's working full time and trying to take care of her kids and trying to be the all super mom. And you might just say, can you imagine how it would feel if you could be a stay-at-home mom? So that's how you're connecting emotionally. Look at that person. What will connect for them emotionally? Or the person who's having to work 2 jobs. Can you imagine if you made just enough so that you could quit that second job? And knowing that that business will continue to grow and eventually you'll be able to either keep working or have the choice to have a second career income. So that's how we cast that vision emotionally. Number 1 was logically, number 2 is emotionally. The third one is visionary, and I would hold on to that for a little bit, but you can give them a hint of visionary by just showing them what a Royal Crown Diamond can make, that there's possibilities. That doesn't mean they have to, but it gives possibilities to this business model. Because quite frankly, visionary is going to come later down the road when you take them to events. So hold on to the visionary when you're talking business at the beginning. You can mention the numbers, but then be patient because you'll be able to broaden their vision at an event later on, or maybe through a conversation. Okay, my co-facilitators tonight, I'm going to ask you for commentary because both of you, well, actually there's 3 of you, I think, well, 4 of you that I think are very strong in casting that vision. And the reason I know that is because your numbers speak that. Not only are your numbers growing, but you have everyone on essential rewards, just about. You probably have a 90% rate of essential rewards. And you have a lot of people enrolling, which means when I look at your numbers, you can tell how many more people are enrolling besides just you. And that's a really cool thing to see when you are duplicating. Because think about this. If I work 5 hours a week and I equip one friend to do the same, I've just doubled the hours of work, right? 10 hours now. I do 5, my friend does 5, but we're both growing that business. And if I add a third one here, now I'm still working the 5 hours. My friend's working 5 and my other friend's working 5. Now there's 15 hours of work in that. That's incredible when we start to equip and cast a vision for the next person that the message is urgent. Remember I said that at first people don't know they want to do a business. So they might want to just try out the waters. All you're teaching them to do is share the message and give them the little Fields book that we talked about so they can share the message and get a referral commission. And once they get a taste of how cool that is, and they get one $50 commission and the next $50 commission and the next $50 commission, and they enroll their first 5 people, and then you show them how easy it is to do the follow-up on those 5 people, they're hooked. But walk them through that. So now, if I can call on my co-facilitators, because you guys have the record, you are able to cast a vision with great success in that you have great ER statistics and you have other people already sharing, and you've only started this business in a short while. So who would like to come on first and share? What's your secret? What's your silver bullet? Leslie, do you want to start us off?
I think a lot of it is if you just are genuine and you're passionate. I think that speaks volumes, because when you show your sincerity and that you're almost wearing your heart on your sleeve when you're talking to people, they feel that. And they want to be a part of that. And that's really been my silver lining to it. Because when I started, I first was just like, I got to tell everybody about this. This Young Living thing's been the best secret kept, because I had never heard of it. So I thought nobody had heard of it. So I was like, I got to share it with everybody. Then when I realized it was a business, I was like, well, here's the second best kept secret, network marketing. Geez Louise, where's this been all my life? I'm 50-something years old. And that's really how I looked at things and taught people. And when it's just like when you have the best tasting cookie, everybody wants a bite of that cookie. That's exactly how I kind of just went about it. And it just kind of accidentally just kept happening. And then everybody like I said, it just kind of bloomed. It was like this little flower that was closed, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And now it's like a big garden, and everybody wants to be in the garden.
Exactly.
That's how it was for me.
And you are contagious, Leslie. And I think you really nailed it in that, saying that if you're genuine, and what you're sharing is your true belief, your belief in the product. You started off with the product, and then you said the next one was the business, your deep belief in the business model, like where has that been? And that comes across very genuine to others. And I think that is a key to your success that others can share too. It's kind of like that, oh my gosh, as we share, people will respond to that. So thank you. That's fantastic. And I love your analogies. You always give us a great analogy. So everybody tonight, if you remember the cookie analogy, we have the best cookie. Excellent. Angela, you are determined. You are going to silver. And when you said that last week, there is no hesitation in your voice. Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, I am, you know how Leslie had just talked about being sincere. And I think that that's a huge part of it. When you use the product, you become the product. And that's the biggest thing that people tell me now is that, like I was mentioning, I have 2 people that enrolled, which the hardest people were family members. And that's ridiculous, right? But they're like your biggest issues sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
But so like my sister-in-law was saying that I've stuck with this. She's seen change. She's seen that this is my life and that it's become contagious. So the more excited you get and the more passionate you get, people feed off of that. It's amazing. The other huge thing, I just took some notes here while Leslie was talking, is building relationships. That is like number one. People want to get to know you. People just don't want to see your name on a newsletter. You know, they want to connect. And this just happened this afternoon, actually. I was talking to somebody and I'm just, you know, I don't think I ever discuss, when people talk to me, everything involves oils because there's nothing that oils can't touch in my world. So I just automatically share, right? And this person ended up being a natural kind of lifestyle person, doesn't use the oils, doesn't know anything about them. And then I started sharing what they could do for her. And I said, wow, this would be an amazing benefit for you to do the business. I'm like, that's what I do. I love it, you know. And she turns to me and she's like, I'm actually unemployed right now. So I'm like, whoa, right? Like I was sort of in a slump because I've been doing so much prospecting. I've mailed out campaigns. I've like been talking to so many people, but I need to work on my closing, I think, which I was going to talk to you about later. But when you have a breakthrough like that and all of a sudden you have somebody like hook, line, and sinker, and it was so simple that like I texted Meg today right after and I'm like, oh my gosh, it lights a fire within you. And it just, you know, so it's the passionate part. That is really what it's all about. And when people see you're living it and you're helping others and your transformation, it's contagious.
I'm taking notes because I love several things you said, Angela. Thank you so much. I love that you said become the product and you can't help but share. Because remember at the very beginning, we said, don't overcomplicate this. All we do, if somebody says, how do I do this business? You go, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. We use the product. We recommend the benefits we truly believe in. And then we invite someone to set up an account or come to, you know, chat some more. If they need more information, come to a class. But use, recommend, invite. That's as easy as 1, 2, 3. And so as Angela was saying, when you become the product, like when you really believe in everything that you've tried, they can feel that passion and they're attracted to that. The relationships, absolutely, Angela. And I hope all of you took note on that because we hear that a lot, but what does that mean? So when you send out a promotional campaign or when you talk on the phone, Angela said it right. It's a connection. So if I'm going to send out the monthly promo, I'm going to write a personal note. Like, I was thinking of you. I thought this would really fit with little Johnny or whatever it is that they want a connection. So take the time to make that connection. They don't want to just see your name on a newsletter. They feel used. Make sure that there's a connection. And I love that she says, in my world. Because in our world, if we're happy and joyful and filled with passion, people want that. And it's funny, like, okay, my little world isn't perfect, but I love what I do. Like, people want to feel that. I love that you self-analyze, that you said, I got to work on the clothes. This is a journey. And every month I reflect, I'm still working on stuff. So you never end up being perfect at anything. It's always a journey. And then I love that you said you got to live it, and that because they see your transformation and they see that you live it, so they know you're genuine. I love all of that. Thank you, Angela. Those are excellent points. Megan, can I call on you? I'm going to give you a little twist to what I want you to share. But one of the cool things I think you do, Megan, is you share the business right away. Will you tell everybody, like, what's your thought process behind that? Because you're getting new product users. Why are you sharing, right off day one about the business?
Because I want them to know that it's a possibility, because I didn't know that it was for the first almost, 2.5 years that I used Young Living, and I barely used it. So I want to give everybody the option to make a decision based on where they're at in their life, what their needs are, what they're interested in doing. So I feel like talking about it from the beginning makes it easier to just continue that conversation and continue putting stuff about the business in our newsletter, sharing it in our group that has both product users and business builders in it, so that they keep getting, 5 to 7 touches. They hear about it all the time. And then we also share fun things that we're doing as business builders. And, people like to have fun and be a part of something life-changing, and that's what we're able to do. So I think showing them what we're doing, talking about the opportunity that we have with Young Living, gets people excited to do something pretty awesome.
Cool. So when somebody says, love the product, Megan, I saw you put in a business income disclosure, I want to do this business, what do you say to them?
Fantastic. Same, this is the 3rd time I've been on this class with you. So I do all of the stuff that you tell us to do. I share I don't know where my books are right now, but tools to cast a vision. I let them know that, this is something that if you work hard, anybody can do. And I love having your name comes up all the time, because we live in a small town in northern Minnesota and we have a Royal Crown diamond. So I think that makes it's real. And so we just share tools. I try to get as many people to take this class so that they can hear you talk about this. They can see other people that are doing this, which makes it real. And then just sharing books to help cast the vision and show them what this opportunity can really do.
Awesome. Love that. So notice what she just said. Would you all consider that in our definition of promotion? So when you look at what we talked about, did she pique interest? Did she create, maybe not urgency, but kind of like, yeah, we need to do this? Did she connect? She said words like, well, maybe you should consider, maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe, she's casting, she's connecting.
And I do, like, when they're interested, we have a separate business builders Facebook group. And so we're sharing stuff in there that we're doing, and we're saying, let's hustle. We're sharing the opportunities that we've got with you. If people work hard and hustle. So we're doing this, and we're saying, come with us, let's go. Well, Michelle always says, go big or go home. So that's what we all want to do.
So let me finish that thought. And I love that you added that in there, Megan. So did she paint a picture for you, what could be? Okay, and how about stir imagination a little bit, maybe with this extra group that she has? Okay, so those are all the things that promotion does. And so what I love, though, we can sum that up to building a culture of success. Because if she would just say, oh, great, you want to do the business? Okay, here's some books. We're going to do the 7 skills, get on this class, go through the 6 weeks, and good luck. Would that have the same effect that she is having? Same thing for Leslie or Angela. If they just said, do this, will it have the same effect? And obviously, no. You have to be part of that. You have to be constantly, not constantly, but casting that vision, creating that culture of success, recognizing people for the steps forward, getting that, take it off of you and put it on. It's that being the wind beneath their wings to go to the song. If you are the leader and you can be the wind beneath the wings of the next person, you will have them flying in no time. And that's exactly what these 3 ladies have shared, is they're building that culture of success through their own passion and their genuineness. And notice every one of them has people on every event, every Zoom, they're always promoting the next group of people to be part of this. So the secret, if there is a secret, promotion is the silver bullet of network marketing. So you might want to write that down and kind of put a little swirly around it. If there was something, everybody asks what's the secret or what's the secret bullet. I think promotion is very close to that secret silver bullet, because you're promoting yourself, you're promoting the product, you're promoting the business, and that builds belief in the product, belief in the business model, and it certainly builds belief in yourself. So I wrote in my notes, about this secret bullet. Another way to think of it is, if you thought of this skill of promoting as a publicly traded company, and your stock value was tied to how many people you talk to about the business model and the events that we have locally, distance, all of that, and the value that you give your customers with the product, you would have a fast growing business. So the skill of promoting is very, very important. So let's move on to the next part then of this session on promoting. So we just got done, like in the beginning, as you're talking to people about the product, put in the idea of the business and why you're passionate and why you share this urgent message and why it's important that we pass this message along. They don't have to do the business, but pass the message along. And one thing these leaders are doing that you just heard from is they're passing that income disclosure along much earlier than we used to be comfortable doing. So it's a new era. People are looking. I'm looking in one of my books. I love using statistics and that sort of thing to talk about it. But this particular business person was saying people are beginning to realize that jobs are not going to give them the lifestyle many desire. Because they're not designed to. At a job, you trade your time for money. The company will pay you just enough to get the maximum value out of you for the paycheck. And oftentimes the employee will work just hard enough so that they don't lose the job. Americans are finally coming to grips with the fact that they must take control of their financial future. And I think that's so true, is that we want to, as we talked about in one of the first classes, is we want our career job here, and we want to, this is our day job, so we work full-time on our day job, and we're working over here part-time on our future, because we want our future to go up, right? You can keep that day job, but keep growing this future out here. This is going to be your security with Young Living. Another point that was made is, how many of you will retire at the end of those 20 years at your career with your dream lifestyle? Well, that was a question I read years ago, and that's why I retired. Well, actually, I resigned 7 years before I was supposed to retire, because I asked myself that, and I knew that being a teacher was not going to give me the life that I really dreamed of. So I took a risk, and I kept doing my day job until I felt comfortable with my Young Living business to grow my security, and then I felt compelled. It's life lined up where I knew it was the time to go. So know that when you are part of this network marketing business, you have that opportunity to make large numbers if you stay consistent over the next 4 to 6 years. And then just think if you stayed consistent in 9 years. I dedicated 20 years to teaching. I was still at the same pay level for years. You don't get a big pay raise as a teacher. But now, as I put forth that same dedication, the paycheck grows. Actually, I should say it multiplies very quickly. So as I talk to people, I talk to them about that, about my story. So I would say that, you know, something I found out is that most jobs will not end up giving us the life of our dreams. And that's what I found when I was teaching, is I knew teaching wouldn't get me where I wanted to go. So I did a part-time business, and it became a thriving small business. And now it took me way beyond what I even dreamed it could be. And I think most people know that when your job aligns with your core values, there's joy and fulfillment. And that's what I found growing Young Living. And so for me, I decided, I had 2 kids, and I was a full-time teacher and a mom. How was I ever going to fit time in? So I decided that I would borrow time from myself. So I gave up gardening. I gave up book club for a while, because I knew then I could fit in time to grow my business to where I wanted it to be. And I can always put those activities back in once I grew my business. So I borrowed that time. And one thing I can say is belief is a critical factor. And as I said before, belief in the company, belief in yourself, and belief in the product. And so what I'm sharing with you is, if you tell your own story, nobody can argue with that. This is what I found. This is how I made the decision. Nobody can argue about that. Okay, so let's move on with the art of promoting here tonight. Promoting is the essence of what we do as network marketers. And so everything, the product, events, our upline, Megan mentioned upline. And so I say this kindly, she uses her upline because that's part of that story. That's part of that success culture. It's part of making it real. It's part of the casting the vision logically and maybe even a little bit emotionally, because she said, hey, we're in a small town, we're in northern Minnesota. Who would believe that this could work? But our upline is living proof. So use your upline as the story. And so that's part of the success factor as well. So network marketers are promoters. So we want to stir that emotion, stir imagination, if you would. If you want to become a top earner, you need to master, well, I shouldn't say master, nobody masters the skill of promotion, but you want to become very enthusiastic about promotion. So if you become a top promoter, you're going to be a top earner in this company. And again, it's promoting the business model, promoting the product, and so become a master promoter. Third party is always best. That's why with the follow-up that we talked to all of you about and the class is a third-party tool. So you don't have to be the expert. By using the tools, they work for you. And so that's part of your system that we talked about. So let's move on to events, and then I want to end up sharing with you the types of promotion that Young Living has. So the skill of promoting events is very unique as well. So I have a saying that I want you to write down because I think it's an important one to paste onto your computer or your refrigerator. But events build your team. Campaigns build your business. Events build your team. Campaigns build your business. So what I mean by that is if you do a campaign, you want to build the belief in the product in the people's hearts so that they will purchase no matter what happens. They believe in the product so much, they don't care if there's a promotion or not. They want the product. They depend on the product. So that's called intrinsic value, is they don't need an incentive to buy the product. They don't need a sale to buy the product. You've given them such great information and such great education with this campaign. This is a series of information or even your follow-up, but it builds internal belief in that product. You never have to do an incentive if you give them the value. Campaigns build your business. Now, we also said events build your team. So these are your leaders, your team leaders. Events, write this down, events build inner belief and inner drive. If we only hang out with local people, we never develop that strong inner drive and inner belief. You have to go to events to be around people so that your vision expands. And there's something called the ladder of escalation. So here's the ladder of escalation. You start off, all of you are going to start off with home classes or Facebook classes, but they're small classes. The next level is maybe a local class or a little bit bigger Facebook event. And then the next level is a large destination event. That might be convention. It might be the most powerful women event. It may be Diamond Bound event. It may be any of those destination events. But those events is what builds inner belief and inner drive. This is what creates momentum for your team. If you only stay local, you will never develop that bigger vision for where this can go. I do want to caution you though, when you're first starting, I want you to think foundation. You have learned the foundation. Stick with the foundation and repeat. Do the foundation, repeat. Do the foundation, repeat. What happens is you want to be strategic about your events. Don't go to every event. Go to the recommended events. And this is why. We could all become event junkies. We could all get with every coach imaginable on Facebook, and we would be totally confused. And what does a confused mind do? It stops. You will be confused and you won't know what to do. So I want to give all of you that are just starting your business, put on blinders and only do the foundational things that we started you out until you get a pattern. And then as you go to a recommended event, and that's why I'm saying talk to your upline and go to recommended events only. So before I recommend an event, I go to it because I don't want somebody going off on a big wild goose chase because that would confuse people. So I'm very particular on the events I choose. Now there's lots of events out there you can go to. Once you're silver, you can go to every event you want to. I don't care. But your foundation, I want you to be very particular. Convention is a very cool destination event. I divide my calendar up quarterly. And in quarter one, that's January, February, March, I promote Ignite in Phoenix, Arizona. Ignite in Phoenix, Arizona. That's a destination event. You're going to learn some skills. You're going to learn a little product knowledge, and you're going to be inspired. The next quarter, April, May, June, there's actually kind of an overlap, but I always promote the most powerful women event in April because they work on the same skills we teach. They work on the same strategies we teach, and they empower the internal drive. They help us get over our fears. And being with other women, this is the event that opened my mind that there was such a thing as $1 million earner. Events are where you cast a vision to a visionary level. And it also stirs the emotion for empowerment. And when you're with like-minded people, there's something special that happens there. Then in June, of course, we always have convention. And that's product. There's some business there as well, but it's kind of being with like-minded people. It's like a celebration, but you learn a lot of product information. It's a no-brainer. That's your company convention. It's something that's really fun to do with your group. I remember the first time I went, it was me and a friend. And now it's a larger group, but every year you grow the number of people that go. In the fall, I do like Diamond Bound. It's very specific to Young Living. And then that's usually in October. And there's a couple events in December that have gotten a little bigger than I like them to be. I like the smaller events of 8 to 10,000 because I think there's something special that happens there when you host your team. So I divide my calendar up into quarters. Now you, as a brand new person though, there's no way you go to all of them. Choose one your first year of business. Choose one. And most likely it'll be convention, but if you can't make convention, then do one of the others, but choose one event. And then in your second or third year of business, maybe you want to go to 2. Or take opportunities. If I have a special Earn Your Way event, capitalize that. Or if there's a special ticket giveaway, capitalize on that. But get yourself to events. That's where those are game-changing events. There's kind of that old saying, you are the architect of your life. So you have to create it. And you do that by training and mentoring and coaching. So I'm now looking at a book called GoPro. And I just want to read some of the things that he talks about promoting events now. So we talked about promoting our business as we talk about our products. And we talked about campaigns and events a little bit. And I just want to go a little bit further into events. He says network marketing, in network marketing, meetings make money. And social media, all the technology has helped us connect with people, but there's nothing that replaces face-to-face interaction. And that's why our campaigns drive intrinsic value, drive that value of the product, because direct mailing combined with social media has a better statistic return than just doing social media alone. Eric Worre says the most powerful type of event is a destination event. He says people argue with me all the time that the destination event is dead with technology. He says, all I can tell you, now here's a big piece of advice. All I can tell you is those people are not the top earners of our profession. And I will back him up on that. If you study the successful people of network marketing, you will find that virtually every one of them uses, just like Megan uses her upline, she also, and so do the other leaders, use destination events to build their business. There's something magical that happens there, and it focuses completely on our dreams. Leslie, can I ask you to come back on? I would say that concept of something magical happens at events is kind of your thing. You are one of the best promoters of events. And can you kind of tell us what's inside of you? Like, why do you love that so much? And why do you believe in those?
You know why I believe in them? Because it happened for me. I lived it. So that's my first thing. That I went to get introduced to it, I went to a huge event. And it was like it woke something up inside of me that I was like, I just want everybody who is going to do a business needs to be here. Because like you said, you're with so many people. It's like electric.
I like that word. Yeah.
And that's what intrigued me, because you're with like-minded people, so it's easy to share. You can be enthusiastic, you can be alive, and everybody wants is part of it. And when you bring people, they come home with that same fire. So you're not like that. You're not that only little spark in the fire. You've come home with a whole bunch of ambers that are just going to go out and build a big fire instead of you just being that one by yourself. That's what got it for me, because when I went to GoPro in Vegas, I came home and I was just like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to go. And then Most Powerful Women. And when you take them and they leave, then it's kind of like you're just putting all those feelers out. Instead of you trying to run to every base, everybody else is, you just let them go and they all go. That's what it is. It's just, I mean, it's like something inside you just goes, and you're there and you bring it home, and it's incredible. And I have such a passion, because I agree with you. You can build a business, you can teach people, but when they go there, they see it from themselves. And it's everybody just wants to be a part of it. And if you can get people, I just when you have that enthusiasm, and you're like, if you just tell them about it, like, oh yeah, there's this event you can go to, and it's probably going to teach you about a product, and it's probably going to, you might learn some business skills. But if you just are so enthusiastic because it's just going to be electric, they're going to want to go. I mean, my team is so excited about going to Ignite. They can't get here quick enough.
Exactly. Leslie, and thank you for saying that. And what Leslie is doing so well is every quarter she brings sometimes the same people, but different people to each event. So she's broken her calendar up in quarters and gotten them to an event. So for all of you, wherever you live, look for those destination events. They may be on the medium level or they may be a bigger event, but get them to them, because that's where the belief is built. And I love that you use the word electric, because if you, as you said, it's the way you say it. If you just say, oh yeah, you can go this, and it's just it'll help you. No, you got to share that electricity, that passion that you have. And I wrote down that what you're saying, Leslie, in other words, is those events are your third-party validation that what you're saying is true. So I love that, because you teach them the business, you're teaching them the skills, but then when they go to the event, it validates what you just taught them. So that's brilliant. I love that. And then I also like that you said it woke something up inside of you. And I would say that's what those events did for me, is I was awakened literally to where this business could go. It's very powerful, and you can't explain it until you're there. So thank you for sharing that. And that's exactly what Eric Worre is saying here. He says, you receive incredible validation of your decision to be involved in this industry. It's called social proof. And then here's an important point. As human beings, we are wired to seek proof from sources outside of our own thoughts and experiences. So these people that are skeptics, that's how we're wired. We want social proof. That's why you take people to events, for that social proof. He also says it builds a sense of community when you're around people with similar beliefs, hopes, dreams, aspirations. Spending time with people who actually have made it where you want to go is powerful. And once you understand how important destination events are to the success of your business, now you have the reason to get better at promoting those. The more people from your group that attend events, the more money that you're going to make in your profession. The first step in developing a culture that promotes attendance to destination events is to be personally more committed than anyone else. So I'm going to go back to what Megan says. She says, this is my third time on this. Do you think she needs to be on a startup business class? No. but she's here every time with new people. So next time we have a startup business class, get other people here with you. Luckily, I haven't seen Megan going, oh. She's still with us. But she's bringing other people so they can learn too. And that's the secret, is to keep that going. Professionals understand there's a big difference between announcing and promoting. So I want to leave that section on events right there, because I want to get to the next portion of our evening, and that's what does Young Living offer us as far as promoting our products. So write this down, because I think it's important to know this. Young Living gives us monthly promos. Young Living gives us flash sales. Young Living gives us essential rewards. And then as far as product, you may even do your own promotion. That would be number 4, your own promotion. But really, Young Living gives us so much, we don't have to do that. When I first started, Young Living didn't do any of this. We did it ourselves. But now I am so grateful. Young Living has the promotions. Young Living has the flash sales. And so all we have to do as business people is promote. So let's start with monthly promotions. It would get pretty old if every month I said, Joanne, there's a monthly promotion, quick, look at it, get some products. Joanne, another month, quick, there's another promotion, get some more products. Joanne, there's another promotion, get some more products. Joanne would be going, oh my gosh, she's using me, she's gonna turn me off and shut me down, and I will lose her, right? So you can promote those monthly promos in different ways. I personally, of course you can announce it to everybody because you don't know who wants that. So of course you can announce it to everybody. But I like to target every month. Now this particular month of February is outstanding. So this is one I'm promoting to everyone. Promotion means 5 touches. It might be 3 touches, but 3, 5, 7 touches. But average, I like to think of it as 5 touches. It's a great promotion. It's a great way to get your OGV up in February. So this one I'm really all on top of. The other promotions I'm going to pick apart, and it might be for a particular group or particular person, or not person, but persons. It may be something more specific. But the monthly promotion is for us to offer more value to those people that we serve. Now remember, here is the key point, and make sure that this is starred on your notes. We want people to understand the value of these products and the economic value of these products, so we never have to do a promotion. That they will be loyal to us no matter what. However, if there is a promotion, that's just a bonus. But if we depend on the promotion, then that's not so sustainable. Does that make sense? Okay. So going back to good education, we want to build that internal value for that they will buy the product no matter what. So we want to use the tools such as Aroma Home, which gives a great section on how do I afford this. We want to use the flyers that we had professionally made that are in the files of our entrepreneurial group for the essential rewards, because there's a cost comparison there. Again, it builds value for the cost compared to the value as well. We want to use these tools to build not only the sense of quality value, but also economic value. So now if we do that, now when there's a promotion, it's just icing on the cake. Now people get excited about the promotion because they're already have bought into the value of Young Living. The other key point to make on all of the Young Living products is people are already brushing their teeth. They're already using lotion. They're already using shampoo. They're already using soap. They're already using household cleaner. All they have to do is you give them enough value so they, instead of buying from a different store, now they're buying from their own Young Living store, and they're not only getting good value and good results, but now Young Living does amazing things such as free products. They also give free credits. So let's go back to the monthly promotion. The monthly promotion is usually, if they're on Essential Rewards, the 100 PV usually gets some sort of bonus oil. The monthly promo at 190 level, usually they get something else. The 250 level and the 300 level. There's always something free that they get with it. Here's what's funny, you guys. I went to Young Living Corporate and I said, it's amazing all of the free stuff that we get. I buy the product because it has value. It gives me the results I want. I would buy it without the promotions. And yet we're rewarded all of these things. So if they decide to take the promotions away tomorrow, you won't catch me complaining because I love the product for the product. Do you get the point I'm making? So we got to educate on the value of the product. The monthly promotion is just a icing on the cake. The monthly promotion now is best promoted through direct mailing. You can announce it on social media. You can do a little follow-up call if you want to, and whatever your 5 touches are, but the monthly promotion needs 5 touches. I love this campaign this month so much that I put a 4-week campaign, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Because it's so awesome. I want everybody to know. And so you want direct mailing along with social media. And then you want personal messaging. I use text, but I also use personal messenger because I want to target some people. Okay, done. We're done with monthly promotions now. Okay, that's the 5 touches. The other one Young Living gives us is special flash sales. These are the flash sales. We don't know they're coming. All of a sudden you wake up and it's all over Facebook that for 2 days only, you get a special something or other. These are called flash sales. There is no way you can make a direct mailing. There's no way you can get the word out to everybody. So when there's a flash sale, in my entrepreneurial head, I go, how can I touch the most people effectively? Because if I just throw it out to everybody, nobody's going to respond. I want to be strategic. So what I do for flash sales is I text. And I target, like I had one leg that was a little short 1 month. So I was texting everybody in that leg because there was a flash sale. And I would put a personal note to connect why that product would be important to them. Because if I just said there's a flash sale, is anybody going to respond? No. I said, hey, Sally, Young Living's having this great flash sale, and I thought of you because I thought of your horse, or whatever it is that you connect it for that person. And you go through, and I'll tell you, it's really interesting. Because I can, if I just do 3 texts an hour and I do that 6 hours, 6 times 3 of it, I touch specifically 18 people in that group. I can do more than that, but I'm also running my business too. And so the same thing could be true for you, is you can do those texts that are very specific on that flash sale. Or the other thing I've done is I've done text to the leaders. So if you can touch 10 leaders and you say, pass this on, now guess what? If those 10 leaders pass it on to 10 people, how many people have we touched in less than 4 hours? 10 times 10, right? We've touched 100 people. So flash sales are, they're fast, so we got to work fast. Now, if it's 2 days, then we have another day to do some more. If it's 4 days, we have another 2 days to do even more. But flash sales have a different strategy. Is this making sense? Different strategy. Essential rewards is something we want to promote all the time. It gives people the best bang for their buck, to take the words of Leslie. To take the words of Megan, we vote with our dollars. Essential rewards is the way to go. It gives you the best bang for the buck, and it not only gives you value economic-wise, but it gives you value with the products that you get with your free credits. And so essential rewards is part of the conversation all the time. And that's another key strategy, is essential rewards is usually in the new customer orientation. And when I enroll a new person, my mind, the business mind, my goal is to give enough value that they start essential rewards within whatever time frame you set for yourself. And I like to figure it out in the first month. By the time the second month, I want them enrolled in essential rewards. Now, you have some masters here that have shared their tips on getting people enrolled with essential rewards the very first order. And so if you go back a couple of weeks ago, you'll hear those tips for getting everyone on essential rewards. And I think we remember some of those words. It's a marriage. That's a great way to promote that, but practice promoting that. And when you believe in that, other people will feel that belief. So I'm just going to look at my notes really quick. I think we hit everything tonight. So I want to, I think I'll leave it at that as far as the lesson. Do our co-facilitators, do you want to throw in any last words of advice on promotion that you feel we haven't touched on? Or those of you that are starting your business, you just want to share a few things, go ahead. Let's open that up right now. Angela, go ahead.
One thing that I started doing, because I'm so familiar with the product now and use it and everything, is I offer challenges to groups. So I do sort of like a small Facebook group that'll include a certain challenge that my members can join. And then I do, product rewards and specials. And it's really boosted my ER because now people are getting more of the value and more product incentive, more teaching about the product. If that, like, I'm doing the weight management challenge right now. So even though the company is doing the whole sleek program, I'm doing my own separate one. So it's a smaller group, more individualized. And my ER just from doing that has exploded because people are realizing, okay, to do this challenge, I have to have 2 months of the sleep maintained. So they had to order, a certain product for 2 months in a row. And then I constantly am introducing other products in this group, and people are, now doing the supplements, which you want people on supplements because that's an automatic monthly purchase because every 30 months they have to use their supplement. So that's the way that I've really gotten ER into people's lives, because I didn't start off doing it as the marriage originally. I was playing the catch-up game. And so that's my big focus right now. But that boosts your OGV too. So that's just something that I've been doing, which helps tremendously.
Super. And I'm glad you brought that up. Now notice, everyone, when Angela said that she does these challenges, okay, she's having her own promotion and there's an incentive. But one of the big mistakes in this industry is everybody does incentive after incentive after incentive, and nobody knows the value internally, and so they wait for an incentive in order to buy. And remember our lesson, we want to build the intrinsic value first so that they'll buy no matter what. Now, what Angela is doing, though, is brilliant. Here's the difference. Notice she was strategic. She had an outcome in mind. She wanted to grow her OGV, and she wanted to get more people on ER. Strategic. Also, everything was wrapped around education. So now in your business mind, did Angela do a great job as a leader then, doing an incentive, but it's basing the outcome is going to be on building long-term value for that person? Do you think she did that right? Good. I see people shaking their heads and giving thumbs up. So Angela, that's a great thank you, because that gave us the chance to make sure that our new people understand the difference. You don't just throw out incentives after incentive because you're going to go broke. Build the value through education, be strategic. And so what Angela was doing is doing an incentive, but it was guided with education, and she had an outcome in mind. Well done. That was an excellent comment. Anyone else? Is anyone scared out of their mind now? This is our last time together. Now we have to hit the road. Our actions have to go into place. Everything comes together now. Anybody scared out of their wits? So remember, though, our fear comes from old stories. We ask ourselves, like, why are we fearful? Like, do we feel like people are going to think we're crazy? Do we think people will think weird things about us? Do they think, oh, is that one of those networking schemes? What are we thinking in here? These are stories we tell our own head. So hopefully what these 5 weeks have meant to you is given you value for the business model, given you value for how amazing our products are, and that you can start new stories in your head of what a great business that we are in. And through the repetition of and hanging out with people like we are here, you will literally change those subconscious old stories into new beliefs of empowerment. So I wish you all well. Remember our little mottos. Enrollments are not the victory. Essential rewards is the victory. And remember, events build your team members. Campaigns build your business, and all the other little mottos that we gave you to build a strong, successful, sustainable business for years to come that you will pass on to your family. So, love you all. I can't wait to see your statistics in the coming months. Make February a great month. It has the best promotions, and we can utilize those and get some great momentum going in our business. All right. I will hang out here for another half hour and answer any questions, but thank you for being with us for these 5 weeks.